Coming up on today's wrestling news, Vince McMahon was backstage at last night's Raw. We'll tell you why. There was also a major heel turn on last night's Raw. 3 huge WrestleMania matches have been added, and the King and Queen of the Ring date and location have been confirmed. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the news. Very eventful episode of Monday Night Raw. Very good episode of Monday Night Raw, in fact. So much so that we're going to talk about it on a podcast later. WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from. Simon Miller obviously bringing the ups and downs, especially considering how many signs there were for ups and downs on last night's Raw. Right next to Mustafa Ali, I saw at one point. That's coming your way later on. But let's talk Vince McMahon.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He was in attendance. He was backstage at last night's Raw. He wasn't hanging out with Dimitar Berbatov, as the internet tried to trick me into believing, but he did have a mustache for some reason.
Yeah, I think I know the reason for that as well.
Well, the reason allegedly he was there on Raw, to calm everyone's nerves somewhat, is not because he's taking over the show and coming back and, oh, bloody hell. It's because his bloody mate was on the show, wasn't he? John Cena, of course, returned on last night's Raw. And Vince was there just to support him and presumably to do some more stuff, trying to get, what was it, $9 billion he wants for WWE? More sales stuff. Now, whether or not you believe 100% of that is entirely up to you. This does mark the first time that he's been reported anywhere near the company's TV or premium live events since his departure last July. Remember when he resigned in disgrace and then just came back?
Remember those people that said, like, yeah, I know he's done some bad stuff, but guys, now that he's retired, we need to pray tribute to his legacy. I'm literally asking you, do you remember those people? Because check your follows and see if any of those people were those people. Unfollow.
What do you make of this?
It's awful. It's rubbish. Like, on the moustache thing, first of all, because I want to get this out of the way because not enough people will. He's grown a moustache because it's genuinely a weird thing for people to talk about to distract the conversation from what's actually going on. Have we learnt nothing from, I don't want to get political, but like, let's say, for example, Donald Trump becoming president, the numerous political earthquakes over the past sort of 20 years, these detraction pieces are in place. Elon Musk buys Twitter and everybody goes, oh, the stupid idiots broke Twitter. And then an AI thing comes up where like people's voices, pictures and videos are all used and people go, oh, AI, he's bought that. He doesn't care that like your tweets don't work anymore. He cares that he's getting all your information and everything. And like, who cares if somebody calls him an idiot? Same thing's happening with Vince McMahon's mustache. Genuinely, like, it sounds like I'm overthinking it. It doesn't matter that he's got a mustache. Don't talk about his mustache. Talk about the fact that he is alleged to have paid hush money to women for countless cases of sexual misconduct. These are abuses against people. He's gone into a workplace today and made those colleagues feel, well, in some cases, I imagine, really, really awful. And yet, he gets to do it because he quite aggressively put himself back in the position to do it in January when he, like, unresigned, but still in disgrace. Like, get the words right, pick what the actual story is here. A man with these abuses and allegations that hang over his head still, by the way, was just in and around the place doing as he pleases because unfortunately he's made it so he can. He might have been there to see John Cena. He might be there because it's apparently easier for him to negotiate a sale backstage at Raw than it is at home. Is that like, is the Wi-Fi in TD Gardens that good?
Yeah.
Is it like, I would just choose to believe the bits you want from this story and also accept the pretty grim realities too. I understand, by the way, why people would be upset about, oh no, he's going to get in the way of creative. Like, maybe push that to one side today and think about the bigger headline and then consider that, yes, that too would be awful going forward.
And it's a real shame that this story's come out as well. Well, it's not a shame this story's come out, but it's a shame that this has happened for a variety of different reasons. Mainly also because it's overshadowed an excellent episode of Monday Night Raw with huge developments, massive WrestleMania matches to tell you about.
Almost like Vince McMahon doesn't have a place in this industry anymore.
Yes, but we got to talk about the heel turn on last night's Raw. Not Cody Rhodes.
No.
He came to save Sami Zayn. The main event of last night was Jimmy Uso versus Sami Zayn. Jimmy Uso entrusted with killing Sami Zayn, I think is basically what Roman Reigns was implying. In the end, Jey Uso once again appeared, came through the crowd and distracted Jimmy Uso. And Sami Zayn eventually got the victory. And there was a moment Jey Uso finally steps in the ring with his brother, sort of fist bumps his chest a little bit and brushes past him, walks to Sami and hugs, and everyone's heart grows 3 sizes. It's finally happened, and the noise in the TD Garden was ridiculous throughout Monday Night Raw, to be perfectly honest, but especially at this point. And then I look at the clock and see how long's left on Raw and thought, oh no. And in the end, he super kicks Sami Zayn. He basically declares his loyalty to family, to the bloodline. He hoists Sami Zayn back in the ring. And the Usos and Solo Sikoa kick the crap out of Sami until Cody Rhodes comes to his aid. Jey Uso has declared his loyalties with the bloodline. I thought this was sensational.
Yeah, it's a good job WrestleMania's going Hollywood, because this was yet more a cinema. Did you not think?
But time for the Oscars, just in time.
This was really tremendous. A great bit of business if you continue to watch the kind of like the undulating fate of the bloodline and its health, and Roman Reigns basically forcing Jey Uso to make this decision without forcing Jey to. This has become a Jimmy Uso thing, and you know, Jey and Jimmy now are theoretically as bound tight to the bloodline as they've ever been, but they have forgotten once again that that's only going to make their situation much worse.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got Cody Rhodes coming out to make the save with Sami Zayn. An incredible touch after Cody and Roman's face-to-face on SmackDown that left Cody with the feeling of, I'm in pretty deep here.
What's wrong to you, love?
And we are better together as baby faces than we are apart. This whole idea that WrestleMania, potentially split over both nights, could be about bringing down the bloodline.
Do both main events.
I think that's the play here, but we shall see. But either way, that becomes the big story underpinning both nights of WrestleMania now. You have a tag team effort and a singles effort all combining to bring down the bloodline, which is what Cody desperately wanted to do. We saw him trying to broker something with Kevin Owens backstage, because that relationship between Owens and Zayn is certainly not magically healed.
Sami Zayn saved Kevin earlier on in the night, and Kevin just walked away.
He used the example that they were in that building where the War Games turn took place. Things have been thought about. Don't panic. Like, for at very least for now, they are booking and cooking.
All you people, they've ruined the Sami story. Like, the Elimination Chamber, guys. What do I always say when it comes to WWE? I'm getting emotional here. Let it play out. Just let it play out, guys. This is a storytelling promotion, not that other guys. Anyway, let's talk about wrestling. I'm joking, of course. Revolution was great. Chill out, calm down. Right, let's talk about WrestleMania, because, oh my God, this card looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
3 huge matches added to the card following last night's Raw. Unsurprisingly, John Cena returned on Raw and set up a United States Championship match by negging Austin Theory until Austin Theory sort of got John Cena into it by talking about the people. Yeah. Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, could tell that was coming as well. Great setup on the Miz TV. Bye-bye, bitch. Worth watching that back, because I keep banging the drum for Logan Paul. He's not a good guy, but he's a bloody brilliant wrestler. And we got the 6 women tag match confirmed. It will be the women's tag team champions, Lita and Becky Lynch, teaming with Trish Stratus versus Damage Guitar at WrestleMania. 8 matches on the card so far. Well, if you count Gunther versus TBD after what happens on SmackDown for the Intercontinental Championship. You got that. Brock Lesnar versus Omos, which I've really warmed to in recent weeks. Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And, of course, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes in one of the most highly anticipated WrestleMania main events ever.
Yeah. Predictable is good, right? All 3 of the matches that got announced last night were ones that we'd been able to speculate on for weeks, but that's because they've kind of given you the clues that they were going to happen. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul were set up at the Royal Rumble, because we are currently in an era where the Rumble is used to set up WrestleMania matches again. Long may that apparently not continue if the old bastard's back and ruling everything
he's just
next
back
year.
to be a bell end.
Yeah, but that was there from January, as kind of really was the John Cena Austin Theory match, because there'd been all those they had a picture taken together, and there was rumours that they'd filmed bits together when Cena made his return in December. So both those conversations have been happening since January. Lita was supposed to be folded in at Raw is Triple X. They got to that a little bit later, but then Trish was brought in again, as predicted last week. I would say the one unpredictable element of this, or the surprising element we could say, is that this appears to rule out Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler from tag team title contention. Whether or not this rules them out of the card entirely is a different conversation.
Ronda was carrying an injury allegedly on SmackDown last week, wasn't she?
Whether or not there's something else in store for them at all, I think will be quite a big story. Less so because the SmackDown women's undercard is good, because it's not. But Ronda Rousey herself missing WrestleMania just over a year after coming back is a damning indictment on how bad this run's been.
Unless they are saving her for segue. Queen of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring, confirmed yesterday to be going down in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah to be specific, on May 27th, which may ring some bells if you watched the news with the 2 of us yesterday, because the day after that is AEW Double or Nothing. Yeah. What a weekend that is going to be. May 27th, King and Queen of the the Ring will go down in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, with the tagline being it's all happening in Jeddah, so you maybe can extrapolate from that the whole tournament is going to take place on that show. Here's a test for you. Who were the last kings and queens of the ring?
Well, Queen's of the Ring, yeah?
Correct.
Was it there might have been one since then. Was it Xavier Woods from when the Bloodline smashed his crown?
The best theme song that they've dropped after about 4 weeks.
You did love that.
It was unbelievable. Bow down. It was, yes. Zelina Vega being the inaugural, and Xavier Woods.
Yes.
Correct. Good, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's all happening in Jeddah, so you can, as you say, extrapolate from that the entire tournament to take place on the show. And you can also extrapolate it that I guess that Jamal Khashoggi's been dead long enough that they don't care about sports washing being back to full force. Talking about sports washing, AEW could clean up here because they're going to run Dynamite on Wednesday, Rampage on Friday, and Double or Nothing on Sunday, all from Las Vegas, wrapping around this politically pretty hideous WWE event, regardless of the stakes in the tournament. And look, we'll watch, we'll cover. It's King of the Ring, it's Queen of the Ring, there's tournaments, it's a thing that people really enjoy, as well WWE know, I imagine. So it's a good show on its own terms, but the more that WWE lean into the original agreement of this deal in the first place, the more you're reminded of why it's there. Have your King of the Ring back. But maybe not. But
the thing is, wrestling's great, but it comes with a lot of caveats.
Wrestling's great. The world is ugly. But as a weekend and indeed as a week, it's going to be another stacked and jacked one, and lots of sort of competitive fires that I imagine will be burning between the two sides, which typically has proven quite good for the output. So we'll see.
I'm on a stag do, so I couldn't. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Of course, you want to get in touch with us. First question today comes from Razza119. Says, "Morning, legends. With the Hangman and Moxley feud being drawn at 2-2, do you think it's the end, or do you think they could raise the stakes?" He stabbed him with a fork, mate. And have a lights-out match or a barbed wire exploding death match to finish their feud. Because when has that ever gone wrong?
Yeah, I wouldn't campaign for things that have historically been terrible to pay off something that right now doesn't really need a payoff. Look, I did flag up before the show.
You did say this.
A Page win would make it 2-2 rather than 3-2, but they were, and I get it why they were trying to suggest it as like final.
I like to have. Well, you technically won.
Yeah.
What are we doing here then?
There is money.
Do wins and losses matter even in AEW? Come on.
Don't. There is money in this. There is money in the fifth one. But I felt like the match on Sunday was the start of the Jon Moxley heel turn, which feels in line with the Blackpool Combat Club kind of becoming arseholes too.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have that fifth match, just wait until that's... Like, go back to it when Moxley is well entrenched in being a baddie and Hangman Page has got to do it for righteousness.
I watched that and thought that's the start of the Jon Moxley holiday.
That as well, yeah.
Give him a break.
Maybe that's why he turns, because it's just so cold doing his ice fishing that he comes back with all like frostbite.
Freezing! Anyway, more on Jon Moxley in a little while. Stick around. Boots Magoo writes, "Hello again, gents. While watching some old WWF/WWE pay-per-views, I had the misfortune of rewatching the Kettle from Hell match. Question to you, what combined stipulation match could you see working? Money in the Bank in a cell, maybe?"
Money in the Bank in a chamber would be good because it would really reward the people that do the Spider-Man climb when so often they're not rewarded.
Yes.
Like if you think of like Kalisto.
They used to do that in TNA with the Ultimate X match. That was
awesome. So you had Ultimate X where the X hung and you couldn't use ladders, you had to use the wires. So I remember I think Bubba Ray and Devon used the ladder once and it was the crime against all crimes. That how could they do this?
Yeah.
And obviously cages that go that way led to Homicide hanging by that hole for about 15 minutes.
I mean, I couldn't do it. I don't know why I'm laughing at it.
That Homicide hanging from that inside that hole felt longer than MJF versus Bryan Danielson. Genuinely.
What about exploding barbed wire fight pit?
Exploding barbed wire street market fish fight. Fish market street fight. Exploding fish.
Fish from hell.
Fish from hell. We got there. Fish from hell. So Christian's coffin gets lowered.
Piranhas in the like what was it? Was it Bash at the Beach where they were like, no one goes in the water and they kept trying to throw each other in the water?
Just say it's the most normal thing. Last week Christian got eaten by piranhas and now I'm on a new business.
Final question. I think I know the answer to this and I'm going to apologise in advance to whoever's editing this video. From Black Lion Sid of Pride Escanor. Who would you guys prefer to live with for a year? The Bloodline, the New Day, the Elite or the House of Black?
Well, definitely not the House of Black.
Well, I thought we were going to pick none of the above because I think you and I are both technically we're in the fucking Judgment Day. Imagine hanging out with him. Finn Balor's, do you know what my favourite move of Finn Balor's is? Like, he's a sensational professional wrestler, obviously. Coup de grace, sling blade, all of his good stuff.
All your favourites.
This.
It's great, isn't it? And like for Finn as well, he does like, but like then his abs get bigger, so he knows what he's doing. His body just pops, doesn't it?
But yeah, hang on, I'd live with the Judgment Day for a year, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if I had to pick a out of them lot, who have we got again?
Bloodline, New Day, Elite, or House of Black?
New Day. It's the easiest answer ever. They're great people.
Yeah, I'd love to live with them.
I think he's already shooting.
Live with the House of Black. I'm not insane.
No, I wouldn't want to like imagine the house gets.
Put your horns on and we are going for a walk.
It'd be like one of them, when you go to a fair and you walk in and then like the path goes like, this house is being corrupted. Like, I'm just gonna get ready for work. I think you'll find the mirror is magic. You go to like make a cup of tea and then all of a sudden as you're pouring it, the water turns to toxic goo. Anyway, great match against Elite on there. So it's really, really good.
Yeah, if you live with the Elite, apparently their wake-up alarm is kicking your door down unannounced. So. Bloodline wouldn't be good either because Roman Reigns is a gaslighting prick.
Kenny will take your dog for a walk.
Yeah.
But Brandon Thurston will constantly have a camera in your face. So there's pros and cons to that.
Let's move on to today's rapidly.
There's tons of shampoo left off, like by Nick Jackson's shelf on the shower tray. I guess he's
I'm not cleaning out that drain. Jesus Christ. Let's move on to today's and finally. Do you see this? Renee Paquette shared this, I think, on her Instagram.
No.
She tagged it with the phrase, "Romance is alive and well, people." She got an email from one Jonathan Good.
All right, okay.
2:14 p.m. Jonathan Good emails, no subject. Would you like to bang? It's the best. John Moxley's the best.
Oh man.
Also, I'm not sure it's on this one, on the one I've got here, but go and check it out on her story because it's got those like Google Mail auto responses, like yeah, sure, or I'm in a meeting right now.
I'm in a meeting right now.
I've just got, God, an email from my other half. This must be important. Would you like to bang? It's Moxley being Moxley, ladies and gentlemen. What a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, let us know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. As I said, myself and the Daddy Boy sitting down to review Raw and look ahead to the best pay-per-view this month. Later on today, NXT Roadblock on the show.
Don't back down.
On the show, of course.
Double down.
On the show, of course, formerly known as NXT 2.0. Yo! And yeah, thoughts, Twitter questions, all that good stuff. At WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow both of us. Follow, you're not Andy Murray. He's off in France. Follow Michael Hamflet at
Michael Hamflet.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. But for now, my thanks to Michael Hamflet. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.